All right, so there's a suggestion in chat that's worth considering. It's basically cutting the Dreadmaw and cutting the Oracle. Cutting a land and adding 3 more early game cards. Like the Drill Master. 1 more Sentinel maybe. And like another Titanic Growth. Let's see how we feel about the Oracle and the Dreadmaw. See if they play as dead cards or not after a game or two. Let's check it out as is. I haven't tried going down to a 16 land deck in a while. Mostly because I'm just so concerned about my mana all the fucking time. Alright, this seems totally what we want in our opening hands. Got creatures and auras and shit like that. We are playing against our most hated opponent, Tofu. A meat substitute that no one really likes, but everyone has to eat. Fucking Tofu. I can see this. I can see this. Tofu is a slow and insidious killer, with the emphasis on slow. I kind of like tofu too, Savage. Just making a joke. Tofu is good if it's prepared correctly. It absorbs the flavor of what you cook it in. And if you can get some texture into it, like frying it, then it's quite good. Holy fuck, Tofu. Get your shit together. Let's play a game of Magic. Have any interest in the constructed side of MTG? Maybe eventually. This drafting seems so much more fun to me than constructed. Yeah. Net decking whatever's good in standard is exactly how I would describe it. He's the first human on Mars and he's playing MTG from there. I think that's a good guess. I played Magic for MTG Arena as a kid and not in the last, how old am I now? 34? The last time I played was 15 maybe. So not in the last 19 years, no. Is it a free win? Because I'm always worried when this happens that our client has disconnected. Like, why has he not timed out yet? I mean, we've been waiting for him for like 5 minutes. All right, we got 1 full win out of it. Great. Do you guys want to look at that idea of cutting the high end again? I mean, we are going to want 4 mana on curve a lot, though. You like the one land? Yeah, it's a victory. The curve is pretty punishing in Arena. No, not the curve. The buy-in and the payment cost for Arena is pretty damn punishing. Like, our last deck, I think, was totally reasonable. 1,500 gems is what, like 10 bucks, I think we decided. Is it possible to trade cards within MTG Arena? No. You guys like that match? Yeah, showcased a lot of skill on both our parts. Our opponent played well, but we played better. We got the forest out, and there was nothing he could do. Seems less aggressive than we'd like, but it's got a green speaker in it. It's really hard to say no to that hand. Okay. You think I should play casual draft? You think casual draft is better rate of return? I think you're absolutely wrong. Saying don't get mad at you. These guys have been playing for a couple years. The MTG Arena hasn't been out for a couple years. It's unlikely these people have been playing for a couple years. There could be other time Magic players. It's possible. All right, we've seen blue, white, and green out of this player. I'm going for a slow roll here. Could have tapped at the beginning of my turn, but I do like it actually reducing damage here. So unlucky we drew the plains, but we drew it. Or drew the land, rather. So he's ramped up. It's a little worrisome. Maybe he'll ramp into something like a Dreadmon. I can just bonds it and be happy with life. Sure. So we really want an aggressive opening with this deck, and haven't seen that quite yet. I mean, the forest was an aggressive opening. Very aggressive. So he's playing white for removal as well. So we're expecting a bonds on the stag, for example. He gets the first rabid bite. Feels bad. Sure. Alright, Oracle is fine here. Dreadmaw is going to be fine next turn. Talons and Rabid Bite the Flyer. Ew. It's a very inefficient use of our resources. I don't want the Green Seeker buffed. I don't want my enchantment to stay forever on that guy. He's going to recycle his thing. That kind of sucks. His going first with acceleration has actually been relevant to us. So hold up, friend. You see, technically has 1 mana open. I have taken 6 from this Drake now, as I play creatures. But to be fair, not doing that would be insane. So we got a lot of options for removal here. I want to get my creature down while he's tapped out. He's playing blue. Green Seeker's prevented all the attacks from all of his 1/1s so far. Pretty pleased about that. Another land for my opponent's great. Sure. 9 damage for this thing now. Assume he's biting my Oracle, but we're going to find out. We're taking too much damage, are we? All right. You think I should be not tempoing right now? You think with a board this developed, I should not be playing creatures onto the board in the effort to not trade my life total away? Don't agree. All right. Let's go ahead and Rabid Bite the Hydra. It's more dangerous. End up bonding the Drake here in a second. Okay. Let's Talons our Dreadmaw. It's a little tough. Talons the Oracle and swing. Trades with 2 of them. I think Talons and the Oracle is fine. Let's go ahead and attack with both. I'm okay with that. All right, and let's go ahead and bonds the Drake. All right, good turn for us. It's a good draw for him, unfortunately. Bottom one top. It's really unfortunate that he drew a draw card into a scry card and just fucking really did work there. What? Why did it do that? Oh, we drew another, we just drew double land in a row again. That sucks. I could be using it in the upkeep stage, but I really don't want to be with this board. I want him to be as a blocker. So we have 8 mana. This is 5. That's 9 to play both. Could recur this and place it on the Sentinel. I could Hieromancer's Cage the Oracle. Caging the Oracle prevents him from setting up for a Rabid Bite, which is tempting for me. If he has something like a Dreadmaw, we just get blown out by that though. One mana off playing both. I think I want to keep swinging on the Dreadmaw. I mean, it feels like he's going to have an answer there, right? Why did he keep that on the top if it's not an answer? But the answer could be a lot of different things. It could be a buff card for that. Yeah, but I can't attack with the Oracle right now. I think I want to attack again. I'm going to cage the Oracle. Wait, I can't play land again, right? So we do get punished by any good card. But, I mean... Okay, it's Horizon Scholar. That's scary, but I still think the Oracle was just as scary. He still gets the in-combat effect. I got 6 damage in by attacking this round. Two to the bottom's promising for us. I really like to draw some non-lands at some point. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the combat phase. Sure. Let's look. It's a good one. Quite a strong one here. I actually want him to trade off the for the Dreadmaw. So this is 4 and 5 is 9. I actually have 9 land this turn. So let's go ahead and recur the Talons. Let's play it on the Dreadmaw and swing. Okay. So he's going to give me the Scholar, which is what I want. Scholar first, Root of the Cowl second is fine for 7. Alright, let's get our Vine Mare out. Okay. Rejuvenator. He's probably not super excited about that draw. He can triple block the Vine Mare right now, but the Vine Mare is about to go up to 4 health. I'm playing with Angel with the 5 mana cost ability again. I'm not shonen. I did just lose to that though, 2 games in a row. So we're getting a lot of value out of Talons right now. It's kind of nice. Biting my Seer. I was wondering if you were going to do that. I think it's fine. Let's get one more card out of it though. I think that's a totally reasonable play on his part. So he's chumping the Vine. The Vine's going to have trample too. So yes, we all know Resplendent Angel costs 6 to activate. It's a joke because chat always tells me to activate it on 5 because they think that they know better. Yep, Seer drew a fuck ton of cards because the Green Seeker is just a sick card. Which is good because if I look at this right now, I see 6 cards in my graveyard. 7, 8, 9, 10. We're about even on lands and cards, which is pretty high. Alright, let's go ahead and recur the Talons. Let's place it on the Vine Mare. This probably doesn't give him enough time now to catch up because he has to jump to not die, and it has trample. So I don't think I need to attack with the Sentinel here. I can get more value out of that later. Let's go ahead and attack with the Vine Mare. Sure. And now he's got to answer a 6/4 trampling, immune to spells creature. Alright. Seer's always a true... I mean, this card is one of the best cards in the format, right? Like, just... It's such a good card. Alright, was that only game 1? That was only game 1. So, what did we see from him? We saw flyers. At least 2 big flyers. I think a plummet's coming in if I've got one. I think I do. We saw a lot of creatures that died to Death Touch. That seems pretty good. The Sentinels were not as effective versus that, although I have things to buff him early. 3 power is... Bristling Boar is good versus his deck. Am I going to pull 2 Sentinels for that? For a Plummet, and what was the other one? Plummet and a Basilisk. I think I'll pull 1 and go to 41 and be okay with it. Alright. Spider doesn't do a lot for me there. How you doing, Kex? You keeping up? Stuff you need explained more? Like some of the decision for attacks? 4 toughness is good versus his removal. We've only seen 1 bite. Opponent goes first. His hand's okay. Got a 2, a 3, and a 5. The 5 draws us cards. Or a card anyways. Problem is Sentinel gets totally roadblocked by his 1/3s. Guide doesn't though. It's better to buy packs with gems or draft. Draft. So yeah, that counters our Sentinel on board. We didn't see any bonds out of him. So many things are keywords. Well, ask about anything you could have questions about, and we can try to help. I can try to help with that. Let's drop our Sentinel down. 2 to the bottom is somewhat promising, I guess. There's not a lot of keywords in this draft, though. He's had Omen Speaker into Rejuvenator both times. That's a pretty solid opening. Kind of annoyingly solid. We'll just guide. Trample, so you see they have 3 toughness. Let's say I had a guy with 5 attack normally, and he blocks with a guy with 3 toughness. The 3 toughness creature just dies. That's all that happened. If I have trample, the extra 2 damage would carry over into onto his person, directly into his face. So it makes his ability to, it's called chump blocking, when you sacrifice a low strength creature to block a kind of a big dude and cancel out his attack for the turn. It's a big one. Am I gonna bite a Omen Speaker? Thinking about it. That actually really fucks me. That. Wish I had seen that. So I've got a Hieromancer's cage somewhere, but it's not in hand, unfortunately. I hate the idea of biting this Omen Speaker. So I think it's a growth turn instead. Could do both. Grab Bite's a sorcerer, not instant, unfortunately. That's an equip, I guess. Sure. It's annoying how well 2-power combat creatures trade with me. Chill actually counters this. I did think about that as I played it too. Well, he's got to cancel. Okay, so that sucks. But not that bad. I'm gonna bond an Omen Speaker. I just don't have the value to deal with the sword right now because I don't have a 3 fucking toughness creature. This feels kind of bad. I think we're gonna lose to this. Alright, I need to start being able to chump the creatures, and I don't really want to do this bite. It just wastes his mana, that's all it does. But I think we need to do that. Okay. Wasting removal on Omen Speakers that have already scryed sucks. Of course, sure. Can't stop the creature generation from this right now. Yeah, this is too little too late. Yep. Alright, we're dead here. Artifacts dumb? I don't actually think... I think it's okay. I think it's like moderate power. Like, you know, if you're looking at like a scale of 1 to 10, and 10 is like unbelievable power, like the fucking 6/6 flying trample demon, I think this is like a 6 maybe compared to the demon's 10. Maybe a 7. But I can't stop this. I can't get enough blockers out, so I think we're dead this turn. Let's just see if he's got anything else going on. We just either need a blocker with 3 power, which is 3 toughness, which is kind of hard for our deck, or we needed a artifact removal, which we have some of. Okay, I think that's enough for a concede, especially when we draw planes. Just can't stop the token generation for that one. I've seen no other enchantments in his deck, but I still think it's worth subbing in our artifact removal for that. And maybe even Trusty Pack Beast here. These Sentinels have done almost nothing for us. They just don't seem to synergize. It would be nice to have Sentinel into Oaken form. It just has never occurred for us in this game yet. Throwing in Invoke the Divine. I think I'm throwing in a 2/3. Getting kind of low on creatures right now. We're at 12 creatures. It feels like a lot of sideboarding in creatures. Oracle is not super strong for us either. Want one more creature. Get one more Sentinel. All right. Alright, this hand is lacking a 2, but none of these cards are our sideboard cards, so it just would have been lacking a 2 otherwise. This is fine though. Vine Mare with an Oaken form is a really solid play for us. It's almost impossible for him to deal for, but it's just slow to deal with, rather. Okay, that's our land that we needed. Okay, his opening's a little bit slower. That's great for us. Cut enchantment for creatures. Well, it's partially how do my creatures match up. The 2/2s don't do anything. I can't push into his wall of 1/1s and 1/3s. I think we're just going to win off Vine Mare here. He doesn't have mana to counter. We have seen a counter from him. And he can't interact with this once it's on the board. More ramp. Sure. I'm going to attack with both. If he wants to dual block the guide and take 8, I think that's fine. I might even Titanic Growth the guide to save the guiding ability if he does that. Yeah, I'm going to. It saves me the guiding ability. And now he's on a very short clock. So Kex's ability is hexproof, so it means you can't target it with spells. And the guide lets me make my creatures unblockable by creatures with power 2 or less. So I guess like a Dreadmoth fucks me here. But that does not fuck me at all. Wish this was trampling. Could just bond the Drake and attack with both. Alternatively, I can just make the... I think it's actually better to just make him unblockable by the 1/3. So he has to... because he doesn't have to block with the Drake. But I suspect he'll want to. Okay. Maybe not attack with the guide there. I guess that's possible. He has enough for a Titanic Growth. Okay. Haven't seen Titanic Growth from his deck yet. Bond both creatures. I don't have 6 mana. That's perfect. It's not hexproof, right? Right. All right, and the Vine Mare brings us home. So Bond makes it a pacify effect, Kex. It makes the creatures, they can't interact, they can't block or attack. Nice. Okay, so the game. Vine Mare so good. Agreed. Vine Mare is definitely good. And it's not even playing. Wasn't even playing against a color that can't block it. Like that was a guy who could block it. He just had to chump block it nonstop.